Greetings, dear viewers. I'm very happy to see everyone here today. We will continue to uncover the topics raised at the historical international online conference Global Crisis, Time for the Truth, which took place on December 4th, 2021. This conference united people from 180 countries in a 12 hours long live broadcast that uncovered the most relevant and vital topics of our contemporary society. For the first time in history, the truth about our current format and the truth about the true reason for impending climatic disasters that we're facing now was voiced openly and honestly to the entire humanity with simultaneous interpretation in 100 languages. This unique event was organized by volunteers, by people who truly understand the critical situation on our planet and critical need of sharing this information with everyone.
Yes. The conference has made a huge resonance in our society, and we have been receiving many letters from around the world. People who care, who are joining Creative Society project, and this is very pleasing because since December 4th, many devastating climatic catastrophes have occurred on the planet, and many people have lost their lives. It is therefore crucial to understand the urgency to spread the information about the Creative Society as quickly as possible with the greatest number of people, as this is the only way out of the current situation. And right now, in order to do this, we are already preparing for an international forum on May 7, 2022, which will be called Global Crisis. We are people, we want to live. It will be streamed to thousands of channels with simultaneously interpretation into more than 100 languages. We invite all honest and concerned people, eyewitnesses of climatic disasters, people who deal with human slavery, refugees, victims of human trafficking, to the international forum. We would like to invite scientists and experts to join in and tell us the truth. And so our guests today are Roberto Taormina from Italy, former midshipman, captain long course, Raj Goswami from India, student in computer science and engineering, and Denis Fabrichkin, marine engineer. Please welcome dear guests. Marina, the floor is yours.
Welcome, dear guests. So happy to be here with you today. And definitely we have a lot to discuss today. And as I mentioned earlier, the conference Global Crisis, Time for the Truth lasted almost 12 hours. It's an incredible event and was translated into record numbers of languages. That's why I would like to ask you, could you please share your thoughts and feedbacks about the importance of this conference? And why do you think it's so important to raise this topic that we heard on this conference? Maybe I suggest we will start with Denise.
Здравствуйте, дорогие друзья.
Hello, dear friends. First of all, I would like to thank everyone who joined. And it's very pleasant to see that every day discussions, international discussions and roundtables take place on a daily basis. It means that a great number of people are not indifferent. They're caring, they care about their own lives and the lives of their relatives and friends and humanity as a whole. To speak of the conference of December 4th, 2022, Global Crisis, Time for the Truth, I would first of all express it in two phrases. Thesis number one is that this conference is important in order to focus our attention on the most important, crucial problems which we are which we have to solve right now, today. And the second thesis is that if we do not solve these problems, unfortunately, it's not long for us, not a long time for us left to live on this planet. That's the truth. And this truth was actually presented quite carefully and according to the facts, so that we do not have any resistance. And the main impression I had after the conference is that a desire to act. It's, like a sovereign and clear understanding of the fact that we need to act, we have a chance and we have a way out. That's why this conference actually occurred. The key phrase, the key thesis is that we do have a way out. With the same conditions, we can live in a different way, we can act in a different way and treat each other differently, we can build the creative society and create a safe and decent future for ourselves. The event which took place on December 4th cannot be overestimated. It's very important, but also I should mention that it was done through sincere attitude of people, not just to show some event, but to be honest. Unfortunately, we already people outlined some problems, some events are taking place, conferences with many representatives of other countries, but the attitude is not changing, not to our life or interaction. Everyone agrees that sort of this format is fine, and we continue living like that. That's why such conferences as the one on December 4th, it was done by people who really act, who really want the truth to be voiced. That's why I would like to give the floor to our guests, because I can actually speak endlessly about the importance of this.
I absolutely agree with you. Without knowing and understanding the depths of the problem, it's impossible to find the solution. It's impossible to even start to think about possible solution. And definitely the problem is so big that we will not be able to find the solution with the capacity of one country. We definitely need to unite the entire potential of our civilization. All of humanity should deal with that problem right now. And thank you so much again for emphasizing that. Roberto, could you please share your opinion about the conference and the importance of the information that were presented to the entire humanity on this conference?
Allora, la conferenza del 4 dicembre 2021 è stata per la prima volta.
Hello, the conference on December 4th, 2021 was a historical event because not a single time previously before December 4th such a number of topics was raised which actually concern millions of people to revive society. After so many years when people were living in a consumerist format, in egoistic format, and people were thinking only about how to use the planet's resources in the selfish purposes. And if we do not do anything right now and do not set some fundamental principles for creating new society,
un canale di ascolto e di organizzazione, di coinvolgimento con milioni di persone.
Nothing good will be possible. It's very important to create a channel for organizing and involving millions of people in order to give those people a chance to build a better society. Today we need to understand, to realize first of all, for those people who do not yet know about the changes which are happening in climate, and not only in climate but also on all social levels, we really need to kind of speed up the thinking of people and stir their consciousness and build a society which is built on just principles. I fully support creative society and the 8 foundations of the creative society. which give us an opportunity as the entire humanity to build a society where people will treat each other well, will treat each other with respect. And today, this evening, is a great honor for me to participate in this meeting and to suggest, to offer to people to change, to start getting involved in changing the planet's destiny. The conference on December 4th actually shed light on many subjects. As an expert in military, in Marine Corps, I know that climate change is a very important topic. And actually, climate is changing indeed, and it's noticeable. Especially, we can see enormous contamination of our oceans. That is why I congratulate you on your work, on the work you are doing, and this conference and all the work you are doing for the benefit of people.
We definitely will tell a little bit later about the ocean pollution and about, of course, about the creative society. And thank you so much for your support of this project.
Yes, that's indeed the truth. And I would just also like to mention that what you've said is very important, that implementation of creative society requires active position of every one of us. And I would like to thank you very much for your contribution to this active spreading of this message. So thank you very much. And if I may, I would also like to ask the same question to Raj. So why do you think, Raj, is the information provided on the conference on December 4th so vital and important? And why is it important in general to raise such topics?
Hello everyone, my name is Raj Goswami and I am from India. I saw the international conference, Time for the Truth, that was aired on 4th December 2021. And it was really good that people are getting aware of the fact that climate changes are affecting people's lives around the globe. And it's high time that we should be aware of the fact that there are a lot of things that's happening due to our activities on this planet. As you can see, the natural disasters are occurring frequently, more than ever on the planet. And the temperatures rising in the most part of the country are really bad. And people should be aware of the fact and the things that people need to know. And the Creative Society volunteers are doing a very great job about making people aware and telling them what they need to know about the environment and how they are supposed to contribute to cure the things and overcome these climate changes in the future. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Raj. Thank you so much for that you shared with us your understanding, and you represent the young generation. And it's very pleasant to see that so many young people right now understand the severity of the situation. And most important, they're not afraid to act, and they're not afraid to share this information with their friends and family, because every person on the planet should know about the conference, should know about the Project Creative Society. So thank you so much for your kind words again.
Thank you.
Great. And now, dear viewers, dear guests, let's watch a video from the conference that clearly shows what is happening to the ocean and what are the consequences of it.
the world ocean covers 70% of our planet. For a long time, we've been dumping all of our waste into it. We naively thought it would just dissolve. But at present, the ocean is a garbage dump, which can already be seen from outer space. For example, in the Pacific Ocean, there is a garbage patch equal in area to France, Germany, Italy, and Poland combined. And this is only a small part of the garbage that is present in the ocean. There is much more waste underwater, and it already permeates all of the ocean's water column. And there is a significant amount of nuclear waste at the bottom of the ocean that is already seeping into its waters. In the ocean, plastic breaks down and disintegrates in a natural way. This creates microplastics that can no longer be collected and utilized. It stays in the water forever. These microparticles are already part of the ocean, killing all life. Microplastics have even been found at the bottom of the Mariana Trench and in the Arctic ice. We can shut our eyes to this as much as we want, but the fish we already eat contains microplastics and other toxic substances. Even today, there are no pure seafood products. But they will soon disappear completely, because nearly 90% of the world's marine fish stock are now fully exploited or depleted. Major specialists from various fields of oceanological science at a regular meeting of the International Program on the State of the Ocean, IPSO, announced that the rate of change in the living conditions of the marine environment has been shocking. The world ocean has entered a phase of extreme risk, when ocean life in the high seas and deep seas is under threat. The ocean is the lungs of the planet. Ocean algae, called phytoplankton, produce up to 80% of the oxygen we breathe. Today, phytoplankton is dying. This is because of pollution, acidification, and the natural heating up of the ocean. If phytoplankton dies, the ocean will die. And if the ocean dies, people will die too. Because we just won't have air. And today our actions are bringing that moment closer. The only way out is to change the format of society from a consumer society to a creative one. The creative society is the last chance to save our lives.
This is the truth of today's world. Dear Roberto, for many years you've been directly connected to the sea and have seen with your own eyes the scale of pollution and know its true causes. Could you please share your knowledge with our viewers today?
Sì, certo. Allora, sicuramente
Yes, sure.
l'inquinamento marino ha, diciamo, fondamentalmente due tipi di origine.
Of course, the pollution of
Un tipo di
marine
inquinamento
space
cronico dovuto
mainly has two
agli
types of
industriali
creation.
civili,
First type
che noi tutti già conosciamo,
is a chronological
perché noi
type
sappiamo
because of
che
real
diciamo,
citizen and factory waste, because we know that every day
e quindi
different types of materials are being thrown to the sea. And that is why sea continues to be
fondamentalmente questo non è
like
più
a rubbish hole.
perché si sta diciamo già verificando da
And
diversi decenni
It shouldn't continue like this. During tens of years, we see critical changes in the ecosystem. And unfortunately, I have to say that last 100 years, when the process just started, the process of industrialization, we didn't have, let's say, some teaching action, teaching campaign about sea problem. We speak a lot about polluting air, polluting of cities, but we don't care much about sea. We have to understand that we are one with this ecosystem, with the ocean. And when ocean is being polluted, our lives are in danger. The other moment I wanted to emphasize and attract your attention today, what's happening now, and I had an experience of studying it specifically.
Del petrolio nei mari a causa di incidenti che si verificano.
It's a polluting from sources. I mean, like an oil tanker accidentally splits oil in the sea, and very big pollution happens because of that. We have to control it very attentively and carefully. Because when emergency like this happens, we know very well that thousands of miles of sea miles are being polluted and ecosystem is being fully destroyed. We saw in the worldwide ocean, like in Mexico, how these accidents are affecting marine space so much. Today we different forms to, let's say, cleaning ocean from pollution, which happens every day. But mainly it's just spoken about it and financed some worldwide societies. But there is no clear understanding that we need to implement to the cycle 100% utilization and recycling of everything which now is getting to the sea. We have to find, with the help of Creative Society project, we have to find ways to raise awareness of the worldwide society, how to find solutions and not to throw at all organic and non-organic waste to the sea. I'm speaking now about millions of waste, starting from plastic. And not only that, I also saw there any rubbish, really, cars, some electronics. It's just being thrown at the shore regions. One of the principles, one of foundations which amazed me in the project Creative Society, it's a safety of a human. And this foundation, thanks to which I'd like to find solution of this problem. To guarantee a safety to a human is fundamental, is a basement, and that is why Creative Society inspires with this concept. And we have to give a guarantee to all the volunteers and all the society that this principle of safety will be realized. And also guaranteed cleanness of our seas.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
This was really insightful, and we can only see what is the cause of the consumer format of society, that despite knowing that we pollute the ocean, we still throw away trash into it. Maybe Dennis, would you like to also comment on it? Why, knowing that we are polluting lungs of our planet, we are still keep doing it?
Да, конечно же. Но вот Роберто...
Yes, of course. But, Roberto said a very good thing. And you underlined it too. This world, like, be aware. It's a moment. Are we aware? I mean, we as a humanity in general. Do we have a possibility, each of us, to clearly see this picture? And from a side to realize if I am a key person in this picture. I don't speak like person about myself, but every person. So do you see what's the main problem? In spite we started behave, as pigs to our home. But the main problem that we hear these topics from different sources. It is declared that, guys, we have a problem with rubbish. We have a problem with ecology. There are so many activists. You saw them, and I'm so thankful to these people who are getting out in streets. They're cleaning the rubbish. And we have to realize that now, almost every person in the world has an attitude like, hey, it's not about me, it doesn't affect me much. We are hearing, we are watching. But if a human really realizes what's going on, he or she wouldn't be able to stand idle. They would understand that how much it influences them. And the main task of those people who are there already, who understand what's going on, to inform every other person. My friend, honestly, just understand that every day you are drinking like a plastic card. And you know what? We know what's official statistics. Just imagine 5 grams of microplastic every day, you and your kids drinking just with water and drinks. Now we are running away and we are thinking like how to solve cancer. Look how many people are getting ill. We are collecting conciliums, forums. Guys, let's spend some funds to get our home clean. Just think of it, when you come home, it pleases you when it's clean, right? The earth is your home. It's our common home. You came here to live here, and it influences exactly you. And this decision depends on you. That is why creative society is a solution, because, it gives these conceptual changes of way of thinking. Just imagine when we are coming together and we are saying like, okay, guys, first of all, we have to get it clean. Just save our home, and all the attention will be included in this task to make it clean, to make an order, to tidy our home. Because you see, the weather behind our windows is getting worse, and all these influences are shaking our planet. And it affects us so much, and this polluting of our planet is very important right now. And it should be a task of one of the first tasks. First task is to sort it out what's going on outside with climate. But second one, to make this citizenship query, to collect all the countries, not just to create an event, but really to collect technologies to make our home clean. And why now it's happening like There's so much rubbish, but problem isn't solved because it costs money and nobody wants to spend it. Because which conditions we are living in? If you don't have money, you don't have power. So we are coming back to the problem. The key problem is the structure, our attitude in this structure. But guys, we can change it, we as people. And now it's so important to realize that polluting of planet is huge. And if I speak from my vision, just like Roberto, I'm a seaman. I see it, and sometimes you are coming to an island and you feel like you are not swimming, like a ship going through water. No, you feel like you are walking, and it's not like 500 meters. No, it's miles when you don't see water. There was a story about an island of rubbish. So guys, just plus to this, next to every island, miles when you are on the ship and you don't understand if it's water or shore. And this question is not being solved because it is said we don't have money. And when you're looking at these things from a side, you're thinking, are we actually smart creatures? Because it's a paradoxal thing, and I don't think I said something new for people. I think everybody understands this. So it's just time to understand that we need to solve it by ourselves. Let's just build a kind of society where everything will be in order.
Wow, shocking information. And I absolutely agree that we will not be able to find the way out of this situation in our consumer format. Because like you said, it's simply not profitable. So right now we do what? Only what brings us profit. But our earth, our common home, in such a bad shape right now. So we see with our eyes what happened with the oceans, how ocean polluted. We know that like just a little bit more time and we will cut the last tree in the Amazon rainforest. Our air that we breathe, every single of us breathe, but air is so polluted already. Soil, also, same situation, degradation of soil. So that's why we're not getting right nutrition in our meals. So we need to really realize in what situation we right now is, and what we need to do is change the format to the creative society where the human life will stay on the first place, because otherwise we will not be able to find a solution. And knowing all this difficult situation about our earth, about what's happening, and knowing that cataclysm increasing every single day, and we see it, they're happening in different parts simultaneously around the world. And so many people suffering right now, suffering because of the consumer format, because we don't care about, we don't have right technology to prevent, we don't have right technology to alarm people and evacuate people right on time. And knowing that, we definitely need to act. And we definitely, as a society, need to study the true causes of climate change. And because right now, many people, they either are choosing to close their eyes and not to look at this problem, or they denying why? Because of the misinformation that we have in our social media, on our mass media. And Raj, I would like to ask you a question. Please tell us, how do you think is important now to pay attention to this global problem of climate change?
I think it is the most important time for us to realize that we have harmed the environment, and especially the oceans, which are really important for survival on Earth. We have discharging pollutants into the water, like most important, like plastics, and they are destroying coastal ecosystems, and they are hurting the fish. Ocean warming and ocean acidification is also causing at a global scale. We have also destroyed the marine life with overfishing, and we have not done anything for the protection. The climate changes are also affecting the oceans, and the aquatic habitats also became extinct. They are extincting, and soon I learned somewhere that by 2050 most of the fishes will not be there in the ocean, and the quantity of plastic will be more than the fishes in the ocean. And we are discharging plastics in the oceans regularly, and no one is paying attention to those things, and the social medias and the mass medias are misguiding and misinforming the people of our society. And I'm really happy and grateful that Creative Society members are really aware of the facts, and they showed me this video, and I'm shocked by these images, and I'm really happy that people are getting aware of these facts, and they are looking forward to find a method and technology that will help to overcome these problems. And we should really stop using the plastics and the things that are going to harm our ecosystem and the oceans. And we are also aware that the marine life, the aquatic animals are going extinct, and most of the species are really rare to find it on these days. And as you can see, the human activities have affected every kind of thing in ecosystem. The soils are getting polluted, the air is also polluted, and these things are causing our body illness and diseases. As we can see, the people are getting cancers and serious diseases, and it is also estimated that by 2050 there could be more plastic in the sea than fish. And if fish disappear, then it is really going to be very hard for species to survive on this planet. And if we don't survive, then what's the point? So it's really important for everyone as a human to realize what we are doing wrong, and at individual level do something to help this cause and cure the oceans, as the oceans are the most important part on earth for our survival and for survival of earth. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Raj. We definitely need to change format in order to save the ocean, save the forests, save the planet, so we can survive and go through that period of climatic catastrophes that is escalating right now. And definitely we need to really study this information, because every day what we see, the scale and the intensity of climate catastrophe is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And we know that they occur simultaneously and cascading, so which is very deadly for all of us. And right now I would like to invite you to watch the video, another video from the conference, which will clearly show the critical situation that we're facing right now.
Today, scrolling through the news feed, we see how natural disasters are increasing around the world. But if we look around, it may seem to us that cataclysms occurring in other countries or on other continents do not concern us, because they are so far away However, the reality is just the opposite. Our planet has entered a phase of instability and anomalies. While one part of the planet is drowning, another one is dying from droughts. Drought is about to become the next pandemic, and there is no vaccine to cure it. Most of the world will be living with water stress in the next few years. Demand will outstrip supply during certain periods, said Mami Mitsutori, the UN Secretary General's Special Representative for Disaster Risk Reduction. Shortage of drinking water is not even a catastrophe, it is death. This year, 2021, marked the first water shortage in the Colorado River, which provides water to about 40 million people in the western United States and more than 10,000 square miles of farmland. The Colorado River feeds two major reservoirs, Lake Mead and Lake Powell. Its water level has dropped to its lowest level on record. This year alone, drought and water shortages have significantly changed the usual human life on almost all continents. The effects of drought are already directly affecting many people and are getting worse. Food shortages, a spike in commodity prices. Has this already affected you? Or are you still not seeing this? The dry summer of 2021 in Kazakhstan led to an overall decrease in yields and livestock deaths. In 2020, Kazakhstan exported about 8 million tons of grain to 40 countries, but the forecast of grain exports for 2021 has decreased by almost 30%, down to about 6 million tons. According to the president of Kazakhstan, the declining wheat harvest in several regions of Kazakhstan will jeopardize food security in the Central Asian region by 2030. This is a simple, practical example that the fight against climate change is our common cause. Shallowing of waterways in Argentina is already causing supply disruptions. Brazil is the largest exporter of soybeans, coffee, and sugar, and the second largest supplier of corn and iron ore. A drought in that country is exacerbating the crisis in the global supply chains for these commodities and raw materials. The familiar aromatic Brazilian coffee is becoming more expensive and has already become a scarce commodity. These are just a few examples amongst many. In the world, all supplies are links of one global chain. A breakdown in one of them poses a threat to the supply chain around the world. What awaits us? The permafrost melting threatens to have equally devastating consequences for millions of people living in the coldest regions of the planet. This problem will affect over 70% of the infrastructure in the polar cities of Russia, Canada, and the United States. And these processes can no longer be stopped regardless of future measures established by the Paris Agreements. According to the estimations made by scientists at the Russian Institute of the Earth's Cryosphere, the boundary of the permafrost zone has moved more than 30 kilometers to the north over the past 40 years. According to Dmitry Drozdov, director of the institute, this process is irreversible and it is impossible to stop it. Houses in permafrost land are installed exactly on 8-meter-long ad-freeze piles. We have a thawing of up to 5 meters deep everywhere, so we are only 3 meters away from the critical point, said the director of the Environmental Education Center. Where are people supposed to go? After heavy rains and flooding of crops in the major vegetable province of Shandong, the cost of vegetables in the Chinese capital has risen sharply by almost 40% in just 1 month. In the opinion of China's popular microblog Weibo users, vegetables are now more expensive than the country's staple meat, pork. The sunny state of Texas appeared to be unprepared for the drastic changes in temperatures during the winter of 2021. In this typically warm southern state, the temperature dropped to minus 18 degrees Celsius. Due to high demand for indoor heating, the entire energy system failed, freezing in their own homes. Many people were forced to stay warm in their cars and cook food using candles.
Look at that water. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it at all. Look.
Because the pipes had burst from the frost, there were problems with the water supply, making people wait in line for hours to get drinking water.
My house has still water frozen. All the pipes are frozen, and I have 6 children to take care of.
The electricity crisis set in motion a chain of consequences that led to a humanitarian catastrophe. People were not prepared to face such abnormal conditions. There was no electricity for 3 days, no water for 3 days. I didn't have food for 60 hours, and I felt very bad. The residents of Texas could not have imagined that tomorrow they would be on the brink of survival.
Everything's flooded.
Today, climate anomalies are occurring all over the planet. Anyone can become trapped. That's what happened to the residents of the Chinese city of Zhengzhou in July 2021. As they stepped into the subway car, people had no idea what a nightmare this trip would turn out to be for them. And some of them would never come home to their loved ones again. Due to abnormal precipitation, a third of the annual rainfall fell within just 1 hour. Subway tunnels were flooded by the flash flood. Subway cars were blocked, and one of them ended up being submerged in water. I was very scared, but the most frightening thing was not the water, but the decreasing air supply in the car, said one of the subway passengers. Global climate change has already caused food shortages around the world, and the situation is worsening catastrophically. Will we have anything to eat and drink tomorrow? More than 1,140,000 people in Madagascar are desperately trying to survive the famine due to the drought.
We cut them like this, but this one can't be cut. It's as hard as a tree. Today we have absolutely nothing to eat except cactus leaves.
Hungry, homeless, and desperate people literally pounce on arriving humanitarian aid trucks that carry basic necessities and food. They snatch the bags from one another. Confrontations erupt, leading to fistfights. Even today, natural disasters are dramatically changing people's fates. A person finds himself alone with his grief, and the facts confirm this. Where should people caught in the epicenter of natural disasters go? After all, their losses from the raging disasters are incalculable. The consequences of climate change will not spare any of us. In the end, people may lose the most precious thing they have: life. Tomorrow, you may be faced with the question, how can I survive? Natural disasters take us off guard, and as a consumer society, we are failing to cope with that. And this is our reality. But we still have our only chance to survive, and that is to build the creative society. What kind of society we choose, such will be our future. And today, this choice depends on each and every one of us.
The consumer format of society is ruthless and inhumane. And in the face of increasing climatic disasters, extending this format is suicidal. We as humanity will not survive. None of us want to become just a number in the statistics. And in a consumer format of society, human life is just a number. But we humans are not numbers. Every human's life is important. This is the first foundation of creative society. And continuing our discussion, we've got our next question to Dennis. Dennis, why do you think that the creative society is a way out? Many people doubt it. How would you envision that our lives will change when we implement the 8 foundations of creative society in all countries?
Спасибо большое за вопрос.
Thank you so much for this question.
Сомнения, они всегда до той поры, пока ты
Doubts,
не вникаешь и не
they
разбираешься
continue until you sort out the essence of the question. If you look really on the instrument, I will tell you truly, now we have a great instrument in our hands. It's 8 foundations of creative society. This is that solid instrument which can provide every of us a guaranteed safety and quality life. It's a lawyer document. It's created and formed from our common query. And just this principle we should keep in all our steps. Because even before creation of these 8 foundations of creative society, it wasn't just a try to do something, to like we got used, let's just do something for PR, for getting money or something else. No, it was really made. Not just for, but because it was needed, because it's critically important for all of us, for all of the participants of this planet. And many people are questioning themselves, like, how can we come to this? What does it mean? How can we build this creative society? Here, I think the first step should be stop being ashamed that you are human. Why? Because consumer format is a system of values where it is shamefully to be a human. In real, guys, if a human says about principles of conscience, he is treated like a double-faced person to solve some his issues, just to put a mask, to tell something nicely, but everybody perceives this differently. Or it's just a rudiment, something very old and not modern, not relevant, and it's like a different life now. We have to struggle for our life. Look, not live, but fight for life. And we got adapted to these conditions, and we started thinking that this is our reality. What can we do? This is what we can do, guys. Stop adapting and really understand what is really important for you. First of all, don't be ashamed. Not being ashamed to be a human is questioning yourself. Okay, if I have $1 million, but I lose my life right now, what will I do with these millions, billions? It's just imaginary. Yeah, it will stay here, but where will I be? There won't be my life. And when a human asks this correct question to himself, everything gets on own place. And if I understand that my life is important, life of my relatives, of my close people, people who are sitting next to me, then human starts getting next questions and wishes. Of course, we want our life to be quality, safe, not like a slavery, living in everyday fear for our life and our close ones. Like existing, not living. I think Roberto knows this state. Yeah, maybe some people love this romantic of marine life, But literally, it's like you're going to a jail. You're exchanging your lifetime. You're getting into jail, going into middle of the ocean, but you could be with your loved ones. Of course, somebody will say it's your choice. You went by yourself. But guys, we don't have much choice in nowadays world. We people, we don't have much choice to cover a good life for ourselves and our loved ones. Sometimes hours, like 12, 14 hours per day. Yeah, somebody will say like, but you are working just 4 hours, but you are overwhelmed with these thoughts, how to get money. We don't have even time to think, why am I here? What am I doing here? What's going on with my planet? And it's like a helmet on our head. And we don't even notice what is passing by, which life is passing by us. us. And at some point, this crack moment happens, and person starts looking around, questioning everything. It's like a awakening moment. Finally, you understand that there are so many issues, but you don't have fears. You just have this inside assurance that we have all the possibilities, all the opportunities. Yes, we people, we created this system. Yeah, we got as inherited it, and we have to keep it. You know, it is like said, you don't choose your parents and you have to love your parents. I'm not speaking about specifically our parents, but I mean about this inheriting something. But now we have a choice what to do with this inherit. And when we change this attitude, we stop, you know, like what I wanted to stress, I said above that we are dreaming to live a quality and safe life. What should we do to live quality and safely? We have to stop dreaming and make it our aim. And exactly when we have this aim, there is one more important moment. Realization of this aim depends on other people. It is like this. My safety depends on all of you guys. And we all are creating these conditions for each other, but we want absolutely different conditions. And you know, we created this picture, which we have to just step aside, look at it, and understand that we don't want this picture. So let's create this aim and synchronize in this aim. Understand, question yourself if I'm the only one who has this aim, and you will understand that no, everybody has the same. And as we said, it's 99% of people, maybe just few people, but you know, even those at power who think they're super rich, what they're living for, they're fully in this money greediness. So guys, when we all understand this aim and we unite our forces, time and attention, and if we already started speak about it, it means we are already building it. Because you cannot bake a pie before you think of baking a pie, then understanding how to bake this pie, and then just starting baking. So we need to create conditions where we all are synchronizing and uniting and start acting. That is why we are telling all this to you now. We need you to feel this state. We are not making you get scared. No, we want to show you there is an exit. Guys, there is an exit. And we can start right now. And tomorrow we won't have to survive. We will start living. So, of course, creative society is unique solution, unique exit from all the problems. And why I'm claiming like this? Because I know it. And if you have any doubts, we invite you to come and learn about the project, to collect the information. Don't be ashamed to be a human, and then you will be with us building creative society. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. This was very inspiring. And I particularly like the expression, don't try to be a human, because we indeed are a human. Even though sometimes we forget about this in the constant rat race, in the constant striving for survival and not living. And indeed, what I also like what you said is that we should not just dream to have a better world, but we need to start acting in order for this dream to come true. And we can do this really already by speaking about all of these issues and outlining solutions. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dennis. And now I would like also to turn to Roberto. Why do you think that creative society is the only way out? And how do you envision personally how the 8 foundations of creative society can change our life towards better?
Sì, secondo me la società creativa oggi
I think that today creative society is a unique way out of this path of life which involves us, and every day we have to fight and struggle to pretend that we are living, to build at least some future. But to build a real future, we have to spread this information, especially to young people, to show that we really can change our fate and our life. Everything said before yesterday can be different from what we want. The deal is, history can be like this, that it makes us feel like we have to wait for someone to come and make a revolution and change everything. But listen, revolution is not a way out. We had so many revolutions and they didn't change anything. But principles of creative society, they give us this dream and hope. And to build this kind of society, we all have to continue be dreamers. I earn for my bread, and it's not easy, you know. And I want to tell to everyone who is young or maybe not young that we have a possibility to change our fate. Our fate is in our hands. And some great scientists before of us, they believed in their dreams. And this is how they became great. They were following their aims. And today we have the same opportunity. We have a key. We have a key to build a more fair life for everyone. That is why I'm so thankful for provided opportunity for me to spread this message that creative society is being built, because we have a hope, and creative society is a very useful resource which has to inspire all the world. Organizations of different countries, they should be inspired too, because you know, these 8 foundations, they are evolutioning and they will continue changing the world. They will continue changing the fate of our society. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Roberta. I fully agree with you that only we with our own hands can change our future, can change our society. And the biggest mistake that we have this stigma in our mind that we need to hope, we need to wait that somebody will come and fix everything for us. And that's the absolutely clear. That's the consumer format where we learn to shift our responsibility to somebody else's shoulders. And right now it's time to put the end of this bad habit, because that habit is deadly. If we will realize right now that we are the one who can change the future, that we are doing it right now, literally right now, by just talking about the creative society, informing all people around us about this unique format, about the 8 foundation, about the ways out of all that ends that we're facing right now. That's where the future begins. And Raj, I also would like to ask you the question, why do you think creative society is the only one way out?
I was looking for a way so that I can raise my voice to help this cause, and I found this creative society, and I think it's the only way we can get out of this problems that we are facing nowadays. And as speaking from the young generation, the majority of the people are not really aware of these facts and problems that the world is having nowadays, the crisis, people are misinformed, and they don't give attention to these kind of problems. But it's my responsibility as a citizen and an individual, as a human being, to spread these information with with the people of my generation. And as we are the future of the human species, I really should think that we should take actions, and the only way we can do something is that getting together, and creative society is a great platform by which we can come together and do something for the cause. And when I saw this video, it felt really bad that people just like us, they have a water shortage and food shortage, and they're fighting for the food. And the video is just terrifying, and I really felt sad for the people, and I will really do everything in my power to bring some change in the society, and change the way we think and the people of my generation think, because it's the only way it's the only thing we can do, and we can come together and contribute at individual level. And as a fact, it's not about some few people, it's about millions and billions of people who are at crisis, water and food shortage around the world. It's really sad that people have to sleep hungry at every night, and we can't do anything for them. But the people in power, they really have something that can cure and help the world hunger. And thank you so much for giving me an opportunity. But I will really do something for this, and make everyone of my generation realize that it is the high time that we should take some actions and contribute and build this creative society at a larger scale, so that we can cure these crises around the globe.
Thank you very much. Yes, please go on, Maria.
I really like how you said that creative society is the unique platform on which we people from different parts of the world, different gender, different age, different social status, we can get together and decide how our world should look like. And by doing this, we really create our future. And I also would like to express my deepest gratitude to all of you, my dear speakers today. I thank you for all your wisdom, for all your words that you share with us. It was very interesting and informative discussion. And also, using this opportunity, I would like to invite all our viewers, all who are watching us today, to the International Forum Global Crisis, We're People, We Want to Live, that will take place on May 7th, 2022. Join us. We invite all people who are not indifferent to the future of our civilization. We invite those who understand already everything what happened right now, and who are ready to take the action and no longer to shift the responsibilities to somebody else's shoulder. We invite you to become a true hero and save the future of our civilization. Please join us on May 7th.